Hola, hola mi gente, ¿qué pasa? Y bienvenidos de nuevo a mi canal. If you're new here, what is up? Welcome. My name is Ariana and I create content and resources for solo travelers and digital nomads. As you all saw by clicking on the title, today I'm going to be sharing with you my experience traveling solo as a black female in Croatia. So without further ado, get comfy, let's hop into the video. To be completely honest, Croatia was never at the top of my bucket list. It certainly looks beautiful from pictures, with its surplus of islands, extravagant waterfalls, and historic architecture. And overall, it has relatively good reviews online from digital nomads who have been there. I didn't do a whole lot of planning before making the trip, but I anticipated there being lots of parks, waterfalls, beaches, and other outdoor activities to do. When I first arrived in Split, I immediately noticed how much I stood out from everyone else around me. To sum it up in one word, it was white. At the same time, I never felt like I received negative or really any kind of extra or unwanted attention. For the most part, I was treated just like everyone else. People were generally friendly and helpful, especially with my struggle bus Croatian. I really liked my apartment in the area where I stayed, which was near the city center. I originally found it on Airbnb, but I reserved it using Booking.com because it ended up being more affordable on their platform. Booking.com also offers a lot of flexibility with options to cancel at no charge and pay when you arrive as opposed to when you make the reservation. Just a little traveler's pro tip. The apartment was perfect for working and cooking, and I had a nice balcony with a gorgeous view. It was the most affordable option I could find in a central location, and it came to be $1,800 for the month, or around $66 per night. I liked the apartment overall. My only qualm was with the AC. The apartment did have an AC unit, but unfortunately it was only in the living room, and the Croatian heat in August is no joke. As I mentioned before, the apartment was walking distance from the center of town, which had all the touristic sites like the Diocletian Palace, fancy restaurant dining, and the iconic boardwalk, where you can enjoy an ice cream and catch some of the most beautiful sunsets. I was also conveniently close to other essential places, like the grocery store, the mall, the gym, etc. And for anything that wasn't walking distance, I could easily catch a quick Bolt ride to get to where I needed to go. And Bolt is just a car share service that's similar to Uber. Usually during the week, I was inside working from home, and I did a lot of cooking in. But on the weekends, I went out and explored different places. Marjon Park is a well-known park in Split. You can bike or walk along the paved trail that wraps around the park, and you're able to see various types of nature and different views of the water from different types of angles. It's really kind of cool. It is a very family-friendly place and a great excursion activity for a chill weekend. There are hiking trails, beaches, bike rentals, and so much more that you can do to pass time at that park. I also visited Krka National Park. This park is known for its network of waterfalls, its picturesque historic sites, and serene landscapes that it has to explore. While I was there, I did a guided walking tour, and it was interesting. It gave us a glimpse into Croatian history and culture. Visiting Krka Park is an active excursion, but generally speaking, the elevation was fairly flat, and the walk seemed suitable for any age. If I'm being honest, the food vendors at the park weren't the greatest, so if I could go back and do things again, I would have made a very hefty breakfast at home and brought snacks with me to eat. Out of all the waterfalls, the one that was a highlight for me was the Skredinsky waterfall. Skredinsky. It is the lowest of the 3 waterfalls along the Krka River and comprises of 17 different falls in total. It's absolutely gorgeous and easily one of the largest waterfalls I have ever seen to date. But overall, to me, the tour itself was a little underwhelming. If I'm being completely honest, I felt underwhelmed as a whole when it came to Croatia. It's a great destination to get away for a chill beach basking vacation, or even a fun yacht party vacation with a group of friends. But as a solo female traveler who likes to meet new people and be social on the weekends, a whole month in Split during the summer was entirely too long for me. Now, don't get me wrong, the islands and beaches are beautiful, but as a true creative soul, I struggled being there for so long because everything looked like the same kind of beautiful. The same beautiful coastlines, the same amazing beaches. It all started to feel monotonous. There wasn't much diversity in the city, except when it came to gelato flavors. There were plenty of flavors, and although they are all really good, cookie gelato will always be undefeated. Aside from ice cream, I don't remember having anything that really stood out to me in terms of food. As I mentioned, I did a lot of cooking at home because the touristy restaurants in Split are pricey and they really start to add up after a while. I do remember the food being better seasoned when I took a trip to Dubrovnik. It was an all-day tour to the popular Game of Thrones city, about 3-ish hours away by bus from Split. Although I can't say that I'm a huge fan of the show, I did enjoy the opportunity to see different parts of Croatia. Walking through the medieval architecture in this fortified UNESCO site was a really unique experience, and it was almost surreal to witness how people really lived there centuries ago. Another noteworthy tour that I did was an island hopping excursion that made a stop at the Blue Cave Lagoon. It was such a neat thing to see in person. I really enjoyed the experience, and it was definitely one of my most favorite activities that I did while being there. It was also one of the few times that I actually met another solo traveler. We ended up being the only solo folks on the excursion, and we hung out together as friends for the day. My last stop before leaving Split was Golden Horn Island. I hopped on a quick 1-hour ferry ride and spent the day exploring the popular island. It was certainly gorgeous, and I really enjoyed watching all the daredevils windsurfing and flying through the air. But at the same time, the island also felt extremely similar to all the other beaches I had visited during my time in Croatia. Every beach had beautiful blue water, walking trails with booths and shopping, lots of ice cream, and white families everywhere. I emphasize that they were white to highlight a key detail to note about the country. It literally is the purest racially white country in the former Yugoslavia region, with the demographic breakdown being 91.63% Croats, 3.2% minority, including Serbs, and 21 other ethnicities that make up less than 1% each. Personally, that was my biggest struggle with Croatia. Like I said before, there was never any time where I was made to feel out of place or was treated any differently because of how I look. But I was always fully aware of how different I was because I stood out like a penguin in a paint store. Croatia, unfortunately, is in a demographic crisis, and it's battling a declining population. The country has one of the world's lowest fertility rates, and its death rate has exceeded its birth rate since 1991, resulting in a really top-heavy elderly population and a dire need for younger and newly educated citizens. I think this is what made it difficult for me to meet people who I felt like I could connect with when I was there. To me, Split seemed like one of those places you go to take vacation trips with friends, because the people that you're with are really what make the party. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to experience living in Split, Croatia. In hindsight, despite it being an absolutely gorgeous destination with a really relaxed and affordable way of living, if I could do it all over again, I would have cut the length of my trip in half and just stayed 2 weeks instead of 4. Overall, Croatia wasn't necessarily the most exciting place for me personally, but I would definitely visit again, and next time with family or friends. So that concludes my experience as a solo Black woman traveling in Croatia. Thank you so much for watching this video through to the end, and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll definitely be making more videos about my experience traveling as a solo Black female. And with that, I'll catch you all in the next one. Ciao.